Today, I am reviewing the ASUS Vivobook 14-inch FHD business laptop. If at any time you'd like to explore this product for yourself and grab it at a great price, be sure to check the links below the video. I have been using this ASUS Vivobook 14 for the past 2 weeks as my primary machine for daily office tasks, and I have some very specific thoughts on whether this is actually the right tool for your workflow. If you're looking for the current pricing or want to check out the specific configuration I am testing today, you can find the link in the description below the video. Right out of the box, the first thing you notice is the build. It is labeled as a business laptop, and it definitely feels like one. The quiet blue finish is professional and doesn't pick up fingerprints quite as badly as some of the matte black alternatives on the market. When you open it up, the hinge feels sturdy, which is a relief because that is usually the first thing to fail on budget-friendly devices. The Core i5-120 processor inside is a very interesting choice. It is a 10-core chip, and in my real-world testing, it handles multitasking better than I expected. I spent a few days running about 20 browser tabs, a couple of heavy Excel spreadsheets, and a video call in the background, and the system didn't stutter. It is definitely snappy enough for the average office user or student. However, we need to talk about the display. It is a 14-inch FHD panel, and while the colors are decent for word processing and web browsing, it is not the brightest screen I have ever used. If you are planning on working in a sun-drenched coffee shop or outdoors, you're going to find the brightness levels a bit lacking. It is perfectly fine for an office desk or a dim room, but it is not a professional-grade color-accurate display for serious photo or video editing. The resolution is sharp enough for a 14-inch form factor, but don't expect the deep blacks or the pop you would get from an OLED panel. One of the big selling points here is the storage and memory setup. The 16 gigabytes of RAM is the sweet spot for Windows 11 Pro right now. It keeps everything moving without a hitch. The 1TB SSD is also a massive win at this price point. Most laptops in this category force you to settle for 512 gigabytes, so having that extra headroom for files and applications is a genuine value add. If you are a power user who needs to store massive local databases or high-resolution media, that extra space is going to save you from having to carry around external drives. Speaking of accessories, the included 8-in-1 hub is a nice touch. I usually find these bundled hubs to be cheap afterthoughts, but this one actually feels solid. It solves the biggest frustration with this laptop, which is the somewhat limited port selection on the chassis itself. Let's talk about the webcam and the privacy shutter. The 720p camera is adequate for Zoom or Teams meetings, but it is not going to win any awards for clarity. In low light, it gets grainy fast. The inclusion of the physical privacy shutter is a great touch for security-minded users, though, and it is a feature I wish every manufacturer would standardize. If you spend your entire day on camera, you might want to invest in a dedicated external webcam, but for casual check-ins, this will do the job just fine. The keyboard and trackpad are standard ASUS fare. The typing experience is comfortable enough for long emails, though the key travel is a bit shallow. If you are coming from an older, clunkier laptop, you might need a few hours to adjust to the feel. The trackpad is responsive and supports Windows gestures well, which I found helpful for switching between virtual desktops. Where this laptop struggles is under heavy, sustained load. If you try to push this for gaming or heavy rendering, the fans will kick in and you'll hear them. It is not an unmanageable roar, but it is definitely noticeable in a quiet office. This is not a gaming machine, and if you are looking to play modern titles at high settings, you should look elsewhere. It is designed for productivity, and that is where it shines. So, who is this for? I think this is a fantastic choice for students, small business owners, or office workers who need a reliable, fast, and professional-looking machine that can handle a heavy multitasking workload without breaking the bank. The inclusion of Windows 11 Pro is a major plus for those who need domain joining or BitLocker encryption for work. Who should avoid it? If you are a creative professional who needs perfect color accuracy for design work, or if you are a gamer, this is not the laptop for you. You'll be disappointed by the display's peak brightness and the integrated graphics performance. Also, if you need a laptop that stays whisper quiet even when you are pushing it to the absolute limit, the thermal management here is just standard, not exceptional. Overall, the value proposition here is strong, especially when you factor in the 1 terabyte of storage and the included hub. It feels like a complete package that is ready to work the second you take it out of the box. If you want to see if this fits your current budget or if you want to compare it to other options, feel free to check the links I have provided below. It is a solid, practical daily driver that prioritizes performance and utility over flashy aesthetics, and in my testing, it delivered exactly what it promised. It is not the most exciting laptop on the market, but it is a workhorse that gets the job done.